Gonna start the meeting at 7:04.
That was just a rehearsal.
Yeah.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to
Yes.
make a motion to accept the minutes of 5/19/21 with one amendment, which is in the last line, changing it, the meeting from June 17th to today, June 16th. Everything else is okay.
Yeah.
Motion been made to accept the minutes. Second, Nick?
I'll second it.
Thank you. Any discussion? Hearing none, we're accepting with the one amendment.
One amendment.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Any new or old business?
Yes.
What happened at the
So,
Rotary
the
auction?
day before the Rotary auction, our video on demand server failed.
Oh.
And our video on demand server not only is where everyone can log in online and see meetings or events that we've archived, but it also is the host machine for our entire playback system, our live system, everything. So it was a little nerve-wracking, but we got, we worked with the people out in Michigan from Tightrope Support. They changed over the host server to a different one that we have, because there's multiple servers on our system. And they were able to get the live and the playback and everything back up and running. The only thing that's not working right now is the video on demand. So what I did was, when I found out that it was gonna take about a month or so to get a new server installed, I resurrected our old YouTube McCam channel from 2014 that we used to have prior to the system. And I've been uploading all of our videos to YouTube. So, and it's, you know, I've had a lot of people I just got in tonight and somebody else was like, your system's not working. I've posted it everywhere, all over our website, Facebook. I emailed every department, every person, employee for the town to let them know everything's on YouTube for now until we get our new server. But we get some calls and we get some emails and we just send them on their way. But because this was an emergency, Bob and Steve approved the purchase of a new server. And I need approval just for our records for the purchase of that, because it is over the amount that's set by the cable committee for purchases. So a replacement server for our cablecast system, including install, configuration, freight, and an upgrade to our storage capacity is $11,212.50. We did submit the purchase order to Ockers, and they are on the state bid list, and they will be installing when it comes in. I did email Gary today, and Gary told me that our server will be shipped next week to his business, and then he'll be once he gets everything in-house, he can schedule an appointment to come in and install.
Been close to over a month though, right?
Yeah, it was May 21st that it went down, not the 14th. So
It's very, very slow in electronics land right now.
he told me today that the hard drives are hard to come by right now, so they've been pushing to get those in.
Need a motion?
Mr.
Is there
Chairman,
any warranty on this?
So we have something that's called software assurance that we purchase through Tightrope every year. It's on each of our servers. The actual server that failed was over 7 years old, so it was past its life expectancy. So we should have been in the next year or so, we would have been looking into replacing it anyway. It's just unfortunate that it failed, but now we had to replace it, a little early, but there was no warranty as far as a replacement on it. We do have the software assurance that covers software upgrades and things like that on the servers, but the physical server itself.
Will we have it, or
was
is
old.
It wouldn't have counted for this one.
We have.
It wouldn't work for this one because of
Okay.
the,
Yeah.
How about the other servers?
The other servers are, the Flex 4 server is the one we purchased in 2016. That's the one that does our playback.
Yep.
And when we upgraded to HD, so we could have HD capacity for our live stream and online stuff. So that's fairly new, that we should be okay for a couple more years before we have to replace that one.
Okay, so are we,
One of the things that, it was an emergency because what it took out of the system. So Steve and I, we can only approve up to 3,000, this is 11,000. So Steve and I told her to go through with it because of the emergency and would take it to the committee. And, we always bring everything, even the stuff we do approve at 3,000, bring it back to the committee, cause it's the committee's, decision what they wanna do.
So Karen, you're looking for just approval for
This is
the purchase
approval for
order?
the purchase order. We do not have the bill yet,
Okay.
but this is what the bill will be, so.
Okay,
Karen said she'll take care of anything that, over that amount.
I'll hold her to that.
well, that
Mr.
seems fair.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to approve the purchase order for a replacement server for the, from Ockers for $11,212.50 to be paid when it is installed.
Motion's been made, and anybody want a second?
I have a question.
Okay.
On-
Well, can you second it first, because I can't take any
a second.
discussion? Thank you,
The figure that's there, I don't see 11,000 on this. figure.
because you got the wrong paper, she just
So,
added.
no, I have, it's there. So this, the optional, choose one not, and it says not included in the total. See that?
Yeah.
Those were upgrades to our storage capacity, and I opted to purchase the 20 terabytes. So
Okay.
it's the 9,987.50 plus the 1,225.
Thank you.
Motion's been made by Bob and seconded, we had discussion on it. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you, it passes.
Just a little background on that, though, I know it's voted, but the reason I purchased another 20 terabytes of storage is our current storage is just about full, so. And this is our archive for all of our meetings, events, and everything we cover, so we reference it a lot. So the next thing is,
Surplus?
well, I have, are you gonna do, yeah, I can do the surplus. So I went through our equipment that was piling up in the closet that was outdated, broken, unusable. A lot of it was stuff that had been replaced, whether it be the Matrox scan converters, we've had a couple of those fail. And just because it's equipment that's purchased, we need to have it listed and surplused before we can dispose of it.
Now, do we have to take this to the selectmen? Even though it's stuff that we've purchased, I think we should,
I think we have in the past.
yeah.
So this is why I made the list, and what it does, the cable committee approves the
Correct.
list. We'll send it to the issuing authority, the selectmen, and just to let them know that the items are being surplus. And it's not like a desk or something that can be reused again. All of this equipment is broken.
Well, when you send a letter, when you send it to them and send a letter to it.
Yeah, it's trash.
Well, just tell them, that it's nothing that the town, per se, it's all came out of, cable receipts.
Okay. So right now, all these items are sitting in our kitchen. And what, I know the IT department does recycling, where they take the hard drives, there's a lot of hard drives in here, and they'll actually have them crushed. So they bring in these bins and they just load all this stuff in, and all the hard drives are taken separately and they put through this shredder. So,
There's nothing on here that would be of any value to Adam or,
no.
oh, okay.
No, even Jose in Lakeville asked me if I had anything, and I'm like, I really don't, and if I did, I'd have to offer it to the schools first.
Well, after it goes to surplus, and Karen's also offered it to the people across the street that do computers and stuff. and see if they needed anything
Yeah.
before we junk it.
Ah,
They
yeah.
said that sometimes they'll use like monitors or whatever, if it's a monitor that, or like a screen on a computer,
Mm-hmm.
that, somebody had one broke, they can replace it with one that, they like having those, like, if it's not something that's broken, it's just not used, like, so.
I get a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to submit the surplus inventory dated 6/1/21. Do we have to submit it to the selectmen?
Yes, I think we should.
Submit it
They're
to
the
the
issuing
selectmen.
authority.
We're doing what with it now?
Submitting it to the Board of Selectmen?
After we approve the surplus list, we send it to the selectmen.
Well, no point in holding it here.
No,
It's
we,
just taking up room.
but the idea is if the selectmen don't want us to send it out or want us to go down another avenue, they'll mention, well, why don't you check through the town and stuff?
Just to get their stamp of approval on it, because it's,
It's
most of this stuff
actually-
is gonna end up ground up anyway,
It's
so.
town's money, so I mean, in a roundabout way, they're the issuing authority of the money that comes in, so they should be, even though it's spent with all our money, they should be at least, notified that we're doing this,
Okay.
Sure, there'll be 1,000 questions that nobody will be there to answer.
Well, IT submits lists for surplus all the time, and occasionally different departments will submit lists of surplus equipment that they're not using anymore. It might be a vehicle, it might be desks, it might be a printer, and they have to send the list to the selectmen, they declare it surplus, and then it can either be disposed of or offered to other departments. And, but this stuff really, it's all broken and unusable, so
We,
it's
we
not
should just
really-
make sure that we specify that, because if somebody looks at this list and says, oh, I want this, and they get it and it doesn't work, then that's
Yeah.
gonna look bad on us.
So motion's been made, any second?
I'll second it.
Oh, wow. A voice,
Forgot about
a
that.
voice
Donna.
from the
Where did that voice
tabletop.
come from?
Yeah, I'm still listening.
I know, I'm just kidding.
We can feel your presence, Donna, we can.
Yeah.
Motion's been made and seconded to submit the list to the selectmen after approval by us. And just so everybody in TV land knows, or cable land, we have Donna Benabio on the phone in front of us. She could not make it in, but she's here in spirit. Or voice, whichever. Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you.
The other thing I have is a renewal for our retrospect multi-server annual software maintenance agreement that we have. Retrospect is the software that we use that it sends the data that we have on our servers here and backs it up over at the middle school and vice versa, the middle school's data here. So that's $649. It's an annual fee that we pay.
Motion, Donna?
Okay, I motion that we go for a renewal for a retrospect for the annual software for the fee amount of $649.
Excellent, yes, with licensemysoftware.net.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
We'll add that into your motion.
Yes, please.
Donna's made a motion, anybody second?
Yeah, I'll second that.
Hi, Nick. Motion made and seconded to pay that bill. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Thank you. Passes.
I did receive an invoice from LCN. I didn't put this in your packet because I'm gonna explain it. I'm not requesting for it to be paid. I was looking at the description of work and it was to configure additional extension from a cam for our phones. And change, and it says user changes, comma, speed dial. So back when we moved over here in 2019, we had ordered 2 new phones, one for the reception area and one for our hub room, because our phones down in our office, when we took the receiver, the wireless receiver, it wouldn't go that far, so we ordered 2 new phones. The phones that they ordered wouldn't work on our current network, so we had to wait until the town upgraded the network, the system. So we waited, and that was the thing that IT did over the winter when Bob requested, asked them why it hadn't been done yet, because we were just wondering, it's been over a year and a half, we still don't have our phones installed, they're sitting here on the floor. So, anyway, long story short, they came in January, installed the phones once the network was upgraded, and then I got a bill for it. Well, we had already paid the bill back in January when they came and installed it as part of the move over here. So we had withheld paying that bill from 2019 that included the phone install, the actual phones themselves, and a couple other things, and the wireless access points for the internet. And I'm trying to think there was something else. It was like a $3,000 bill, but the configuration of the phones was part of it. So we paid that in January when it came in. So I got this separate bill for the configuration of the phones, and I thought that was odd. So it was for, the date was January 28th. So I had to go back and look, and I found out that we had already paid it. So I do have an email, we're going back and forth with LCN. She said that she just submits the invoices that she receives from her texts. And this was from, I think, Matt Lee. He had sent it to her in order to send it to us. So it's on hold. I just wanted to let you know, it was paid already, we're working it out.
Did you send her a copy of the bill that you paid?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah, I sent her the copies of everything. I sent her the invoice where it was listed,
Sure.
that was included in it. I know they changed their way of their maintenance and support contracts. At our last meeting, we had approved paying the maintenance and support of like $6,000. Well, they actually only send an invoice for like $3,000, even though the quote was for $6,000. They withhold having to pay that second amount for if you call them in for anything. So it's kind of like a tab you're using. And so I thought that was what maybe this could have been, but then I saw the date on it of January. I was like, we already paid that, so. Because we'll probably have a bill from the configuration of the phones from the Rotary, that issue we had with the phones having to be connected into our system, the Wi-Fi phones that we have. So I do expect a bill for that eventually, but. Let's see, what else do I have? We did get our 2 May payments from Comcast and Verizon. The total we received from them was $63,936.14. It was a little bit less as expected. As you know, the cord cutting is continuing, and every quarter we receive a little less money. The numbers did come in from Boston, not from Boston, well, it is Boston, the state numbers for the subscribers. And our town has lost about 330, I think it's 330, I didn't write it down. I'll get that number for you next month. But of the 8,400 subscribers we have, or 8,300 we have, we're down to like 79 something, so.
It just stopped.
People who cut the cord.
It's about time.
Yeah, so, I sent you all an email today with a link. Nick said he watched it. I haven't had a
Yeah.
chance to finish watching it. There was a meeting on Monday that was held by the legislators that are trying to pass the streaming bills. They've got about 70 legislators on board with it. This is the thing that the Middleborough Issuing Authority didn't
Want to
wanna sign our support for this bill.
Well, because they believe they want to cut the cords too.
Well, yeah, but then there's nothing to support PEG, so this would actually put a fee on the streaming companies that do business in the state.
I don't know if you can, I don't know if you can trust a cable company, I'm serious.
Well, if it's legislatively done, I mean, and other states are doing it also, it's not just us, but if it's done through the legislation, they have to come up with it, so it doesn't matter what they, whether you can trust them or not, they have to come up with it, it's a law. we'll see.
Now, what I've been reading and, following up on some of the stats, the cable, there's gonna be more cable cutting. I don't see anything coming back again.
No, because
It's gonna deter-
you've got more services, Paramount's out there, there's Hulu out there, there's a
Netflix.
thousand,
Yeah.
Disney Plus. There's 1,000 things that are out there.
Out there now, yeah.
Right, and my daughter who's now just moved to Maine, she doesn't, I said, you're gonna get cable? She says, no, just for the internet.
Yeah, they just get the internet service, and we don't
Yep.
we don't have a fee assessed for internet, even though a lot of people are watching TV on the internet now. So
Yeah.
this would assess a fee, this legislation would assess a fee to the internet, because they're still using the rights of ways in all these towns, just like the cable companies are.
It's
And
not wireless, they're not like a dish, it's using the cables that are out there, as Karen just said, all our right of ways, and that's what they're paying for when they pay us for the use of the system, or they're paying, for the licensing, is the use of all the ties to all the poles that belong to the town. So, we'll see, it's not a discussion that we need to take up because we don't know where it's heading. Right now, we're not getting anything, we'll see what happens,
I don't know.
They may have to produce more movies, that's what it is.
Well, they're putting all the movies now, instead of having them in the cinemas, now they're producing them and putting them on, Disney Plus, and then you go up there and to watch it, it's $29 for one-time watching. So you better have 15 people in the room with you.
They can squeeze money out of a rock,
No, they're not getting, like I said, I'll wait. I'd
I hear you.
love to see it, but I'm gonna wait. I'm just not one that wants to sit and watch a movie for $29 and it's just me and my wife or something
Yeah,
sitting
that's
there.
Now, WrestleMania's a different.
Like I said, they're using our line, they're using they're using the lines out there.
Oh yeah, no, they're still using the right of ways.
Yeah,
And they are making the money on the internet side.
yeah, so they,
Is that why they want the iNet?
No, they just don't want to give it up because they just, even Mary felt the same way, but way back when.
Yeah.
They just don't want to give it up. They feel that, it runs through their system, or runs parallel with their system, and they feel that it's running in their core, even though they won't let us say that. We'll get into it in a minute.
Okay.
Well, that's all I have for our regular meeting, so.
Okay. No updates or anything like that. Anything in open forum, anybody want to talk about anything?
all right, like I said, I'm just concerned about, the amount of people that are cutting cable off and, how, 5 years down the road, how many people are gonna,
Well, it all depends on the age. There's a certain age group that is
Yeah.
cutting it. Like the 20 to 35 or something. They're the ones that don't care because they're watching it on their computer.
yeah.
So it's not like they're, the baby boomers or the older people are cutting it because they don't, even if they have it so they can watch it, they still might, like I rent, I'll use Netflix, but I still watch it on my TV.
Yeah,
It's not like I'm watching it on my, my computer or, broadcasting it to my TV, which my daughter does. She watches a show on her phone
iPad?
and she sends it, no, it's her phone, which is a Samsung, and then she broadcasts it to the TV. So,
It's
as
unfortunate.
long as you got an internet now, all TVs are going towards the internet, as you realize.
But then, that the seniors and the older generation,
You're getting there.
including me, I'm there.
Yeah,
At
50.
50. They're cutting the cable because of the cost. It's too much, and they're just not watching the TV, or they're getting just an antenna, which they still do.
Zach,
Just-
do you have cable or do you just use your,
I don't.
you just watch it on whatever you want on your phone or whatever?
It's the internet
Streams.
Right.
Yeah.
There you go.
So, and you're in that age group I was talking of, that's why I asked. Anyhow,
Yeah, and the program suppliers are doing that deliberately. They want to circumvent the cable system. They don't want to pay the cable companies. They want to go right to you, the consumer.
yeah.
They don't want to have to pay, a large cable company who then goes and sells it to you. They want to go right around and just get right to you, the consumer, and make the money.
that's why it's
And
costing you
that's-
$4.99 a month or
Inflation's
For
Oh, yeah.
Netflix, it's what, 9 something a month, whatever it is.
And I guess a different different
I would
policies
say
with
about
Netflix,
6
you know,
months.
premium or one time or however they got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any other business to come up in front of the cable committee? If not, we're gonna go into executive session to talk about negotiations.
Could we schedule
Not
our
to
next
return?
meeting?
Are we coming out of, okay,
We won't be coming out of it, I'm just coming up with a date, because Karen asked.
okay.
Next date, you wanna take,
Do you wanna take July off?
July off?
Yeah,
Okay.
Got a busy
And
month planned out.
we'll send out a date for the next meeting,
okay.
it'll be in August. But let's take July off, and
Are they gonna be on Wednesday, Bob?
are they gonna be on Wednesdays?
Yeah.
Is that what you prefer?
We can do Tuesdays if you want.
Oh,
Well, think about it, you got a whole month to think about it. Let me know your football schedule.
Wednesday, it's all Zooms from here on in.
Oh,
Yeah, okay, I'll think about it.
okay. So like I said, we'll take July off, and then our next meeting would be like the third week of, August.
It's my birthday week.
Oh, see?
Gotta have a
That's right.
birthday party.
We'll have to
bring
we'll have
it
to
to
have
your
Donna
birthday
bring in a
party.
blizzard.
Yeah.
Like she did the last time.
I don't know, I
You're
turned
gonna stay
50
with
last
Wednesdays?
week.
Let's think about it.
Yeah, I hope so.
Are Wednesdays are good for you?
Good for me, they work.
Okay, then
Yeah.
forget Bob.
Wow,
Chop liver.
I never in my entire life.
I need a motion to adjourn to go into executive session, and then I need to do a roll call.
Make a motion that we adjourn to go into executive session and come back into public session.
Well done.
Thank you.
Very well done. Did the
I've been
dance
reading
very
up
well.
Need a second.
Second. I'll second that emotion anytime.
I'll start it off. Bob Silver agrees,
Steve Callahan, yay.
Yes.
Here, Nick Carter, here.
and Donna.
Donna Benavio, yes.
Okay. So we're going out of